troubles outside and come in here and swing.
One day it came striking me, honey's acted unnaturally. I guess I felt it while caressing uncomfortably. Love started confusing me, just a bit half-heartedly. I think I understood when one day he said to me, he said, "Baby, you better know what's for the better. We'll just get bitter." I said, "Do what's for the better." I said, "Do what, baby? You better know what's for the better. We'll just get bitter." I said, "Do what's for the better." I said, "Do what, yeah. Do what, yeah. Do what, do I. Do what, do I. One day, yeah. I said one day, that one day, I said.
Hey, good morning. Pearly and Trippy. Happy Saturday. Got like half of our decorating taken down yesterday. So I think this weekend is pulling the trees apart and putting those back in the basement. You guys have a good week? Luna? Right here. Boo? Gonna go lay down? Yeah, we did. We got a little bit of snow. It's a little icy out, but that's about it. Yeah, it didn't stick much.
Things ain't cooking in my kitchen. I like my eggs on the
Alright, let's
easy
see.
side.
Started here.
Turn the heat down
So I left off, last
to
week on this guy.
cool ride.
Alright, that's better.
I like my coffee cold
So we'll
and my
finish,
toast just done on
we're
one
almost done.
side.
We've got 5 more after this, and then the
In my liquor
back of the card design.
olive
So let's open the other, get my stuff open here.
Don't confuse the situation.
So we've got the back to do, and then the box. Then we'll finish this guy today, and probably another one this weekend. So that's 2, and then we'll just have like a left. I've actually got stickers of this one coming. Sticker Mule had a sale on the holographic ones, which are awesome. And so I got this guy, the Hodag, as a holographic sticker on its way. Recently just got your first iPhone. We had for modern. Capture to make materials for Dimension. Yeah, go get Adobe Capture. There's a... Man, all the Adobe stuff's really good. He got in a flip phone. Old, is it a Razr? A Razr phone? I think that's the most popular flip, isn't it? Let's see here. 1, 4, and then 2 jokers, 5, 6. So we'll have, yeah, after today we'll need to do 5 more. Then after tomorrow we'll only have 4 left. Quickly approaching being done. Yeah, Toby's the draw inside. Yeah, it's amazing. You gotta watch out for the part where when you do your brushwork in there, you gotta make sure like your brushwork is in front because it's impossible to grab it. Yeah, because sometimes you go to click it and it's like I can't. Well, you'll see. We'll run into it. Yeah, it definitely makes things way easier.
Come on now, let's start cooking.
And
that tastes good, man.
make these hands the thick outline.
Come on.
Oh yeah, you can do anything for the drawn side. It doesn't have to be brushes.
Hey, take that pan off the bar, baby. Keep it cool in my kitchen now.
Alright, let me see here. This way. Got like this kind of rounded look. So we'll bring his arm way out here. Then the hand would be... Let's continue doing it like this. Here, let's go down. Good at making it look illustrated by hand. Yeah, it's the brushes do all the heavy lifting for that. There's let me see if I can find the watercolor paper that I'm using. These guys, if you wanted to like give it that extra illustrated look, the watercolor paper here I'm using is from let's see, Skillshare. Find the direct link for it. Let's see. This lady here is a watercolor art teacher. A lot of her stuff is like digital, like tablet. I think the one I'm looking for, I don't know what is this one here. Here's the link. But the actual watercolor paper she's using, it's from this class. Yeah, try that. Oh yeah, Kyle's yeah, he has I think he's got brushes for Illustrator. I'm not actually sure. The only brush packs I use, actually Emma uses them more than I do. Would be, I think she uses the manga ink set, and then like some of the other. Let's see what I have installed here. I think things move around a lot. Manga shenanigans. Let's see, general. We have yeah, the manga set, and then we have dresses default. Yeah, it seems like that's the only one right now. This set here. But I don't yeah, I really don't use those in Illustrator. Illustrator has its own like set of brushes. There's another link too. skipping it. Creative Market, get my points. Let's see. Creative Market has got... a lot of these are like inspirations for brushes I make. Like this one is really great. We're doing pretty much like this type of thing with all these pieces that we're working on. So here's the link. Yeah, the true grit type stuff. Like I saw this, I was like, you know what, we can make that. So this is the set of brushes I'm using, or the bigger set that I put on the website. The freebie download is like inspired by this. Yeah, but check it out. But these, let's see, I think for the people who make this. Yeah, True Grit Texture Supply. They've got a bunch of stuff though, but you have to make sure it's set for Illustrator. They have halftones, those are a lot of fun. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch. Anyway, just follow the links. You'll see the other stuff by them. Hey, Arch Knight, good morning. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of these. Pull this back over there. Alright, let me see here. Shrink this up. Let's try... oh yeah, that'll work. Like right there. So it kind of wraps around. Maybe this. Trying to keep it geometric. Yeah, Toby's. Yeah, that should help you out. Yeah, I love me some good brushes. Let's change this to about there. We can remove the rest of this line. Probably in the middle, just like, let's see, we need to get rid of, let's cut it right here. And cut it up here. Yeah, Spoon Graphics is great. What Pearly said. They have a newsletter too. They send out like freebies. Well, but they have like a huge collection of. Yeah, we're making it without light. Yeah, I've made all these using. How did I do these ones? A lot of these were just using regular, let's see. Like a regular box that was roughened up. My brain is still warming up today. Let's see, effect, distort, roughen. Expand appearance, simplify. That was pretty good. Yeah, a lot of these were just made by doing making a wiggly line and then dragging it over to the brushes, saying new art brush, and then adjusting it in here. Yeah, pretty much like that. So now I can just come down here, select this, and then if we choose this line, it uses the this kind of like wiggly line we set. If it's too heavy, you can always just change like the line weight. Yeah. How did they get the extra specs? Make it the, let's See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they do it because I haven't actually bought their pack. I saw it and I was like, we need to make our own. I really ought to though. See how they organize their file. Because I feel like this stuff, the grain, makes a massive file. So I'm either missing something, or I'm doing it right and I don't know what their stuff looks like. So let's go with that one. Also, I have there was a time when I downloaded like every one of Kyle's brushes when they were free, but it's like I install everything and I wind up never using it, so it's float. Like there's points where I'll be like, you know, it's easier not to dig through the folder of brushes to find them. So this part's fine. It's the I guess the fur is gonna be. Let's see how we do that. I guess we would just use a smaller rough line like this. Bring it up. Let's go with, I suppose, default. Yeah, so it'll be something like that.
Bumped that control by accident. You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you?
Alright, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking. You mean you'll work on engines and machinery?
Alright, and we'll need to...
Here. Shake hands with them.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. So the idea for this one, if I take the sketch, his tail, I changed the shape of it early on. This is what I did last week, right after the stream, to figure out if I kind of combine this guy. Work, multiply. Now let's move him. So I'm really trying to be conscious of how these blend together. So for these, what I wanted to do, it's hard to see. Once we pick them up. Yeah, here we go. So they'd be like standing almost on each other, probably move the legs, but the tail's gonna come all the way down and through his elbow up here. So this tail's gonna go this way and then like come through the elbow. So he's like that. So when I combine them, they should have that kind of interlocked look that we like so much.
Once upon a time in New York, there was a lady, and her name was Miniwashitu. She fell in love with that guy, and this is the story.
Hey, Fox, here's
Yeah, so depending on how this turns out, I think this leg may get moved like shorter, like this.
Put the gum around, addy, 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 oh. Addy, 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 oh. Edie, edie, edie.
Trying to make the hands the same size. Alright, I think that's good. Okay, so then this would be, let's cut the line right, maybe like right here. And this can come up here, straight up. Yeah, I guess just bring the hand over. So like that, and then this will connect there. Bring this over. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Alright, now for the head. Let's do... So we'll come down here. It's like a big pie slice, maybe? This would be something like that. Not sure how I want to do the fur on the chin. I think we'll use, let me see what else we've got here. Oh, you know what, I'll just refer to this one. It's gonna look like Bigfoot, sort of, where we the hair gets added to the outline. So we'll have like the big blocky hands and the smaller lines that define it, and then its fur will be a little bit different than this. So we could take this one, and if I come up and around, let's go ellipse. Middle right there. So that should be pretty even. Let's connect that up. I'll join these together, so I want this to be one big shape with like the rounded top. So we'll go Control-Alt-Shift-J, and that should join this as a corner. We'll do the same over here, because right now it's 2 points. I want to combine them so they're one. So Control-Alt-Shift-J into a corner. Now it's one big, one big piece. We can round it out a bit more, except that corner.
But the cat came back the very next day. The cat
Yeah, that works.
came back. We thought it was a goner. The
Because there's a lot of like overlapping going on, rather than like chopping the line apart like we did over here. Just gonna fill this in with white. So I'm gonna take the hand. Let's see, go to outline mode here. I want these two pieces to be in front. I'll just move them up in the stack. Then this hand can also be filled in white, and that should cover. Oh, now it overlaps. Don't move, Isabel. So comfortable. You can see you're like falling back asleep before your very eyes. Where's your sister? Oh, down in one of the dog beds.
But the cat came back the very next day.
I'm gonna borrow one of these. I think we're gonna use this color scheme. I'm not entirely sure.
The cat came back. We just couldn't
Have a good start though.
away.
Oh, I got an email. What was it, like Monday? Or earlier this week. I got an email from the Hodag Society of Wisconsin. So, let's see if I can find the from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, like the Hodag newsletter or something. They're like, hey, can we use this in our upcoming newsletter? I was like, sure. They're like, we saw it on Instagram. Yeah, I know, someone saw it. I've been noticed. It was like the Rhinelander Society up in northern Wisconsin. It's like, hey, we saw the Hodag. Can we use that in our newsletter coming out this week? Yeah, definitely. It's like an entire, like really popular thing. The Hodag is. Also, a person we know, this lady who's like big into like cryptids and stuff like that. She's like, I'm so happy you did my favorite one. It's like I had no idea. I've never heard of it. Do they Edna commission you? No, all they do is Hodag. All they have is Hodag stuff in their newsletter. I think it was more for like their art page. They have a lot of like fan art that they collect. I just want to move that and that. Yeah, autocorrect, yeah. Are you on a phone or are you typing from the computer? Autocorrect is the worst. Okay, so this is all subject to change color. Let's see what it's gonna look like.
The cat was a goner.
Miniwashitu.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama.
Let's go to my one source of information here, the Cryptid fandom wiki. The water monster of the Missouri River, terrifying hairy beast, got it. So we're gonna be hairy. Supposedly travels the Missouri River in central North Dakota. Bipedal creature, seems to be similar to West Virginia's sheep squatch. Another awesomely named thing. 7-8 feet tall, bison-like hide. Okay, we got all that. Single eye, single bison horn, elk-like hooves. All right, human hands, got it. Jagged, spiny backbone. Much like a chupacabra. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, so we can, it's like a bison. Spikes. Okay, let's move this to the front. See it like on top of the head like that. Okay, and so I guess the spikes will make those white like we did. Could do them something like this. Or we could go with like the chupacabra style thing where they're a little bit more random. Alright. And we'll get to that. Okay, the hooves. Have you guys watched any of the Awesome Games Done Quick? There's been some really good runs. I started playing the, let's see, Jedi Fallen Order? Is that the name of it? Played maybe like 30 minutes of it. I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty involved, so I'll have to pick it up once I finish other stuff. But there was a speed run of that, which was really good. And then, what else have they done? think right now is Thief something. Anyway, I love that stuff. Like twice a year. A solid week of just watching people speedrun games.
Where's the flying beef payroll?
We'll just keep them simple. You don't understand it, yeah. It's its own kind of thing. Okay, let's see. For the horn, we just do something like this. Pull this up here, pull this up here. So we could make it solid and then round out. Round things out like that and then change it to, I guess we could go like that and then use the lighter, like the lighter tan for the highlight somehow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a little sharper. Oh, so today we're gonna go to about 9:45. So I can't make it to 10 o'clock today. We can't do the full 3 hours. Emma's got driver's ed, and it's virtual, and it's not just like it's coursework. So they're not gonna be doing the driving virtual, obviously. Yeah, so her class starts at 10 today. I was like, well, we should go ahead and download like Forza Horizon. You can practice driving there. See, I love the speedrun stuff in general. Arch Knight, just the, I don't know, getting really good, mastering a game, regardless of like how glitchy or broken it winds up being. And every game is different. I don't know, I'd probably never do it myself though, because I have a tendency to look at the time that would need to be the required time to get that good at something. It's like, man, it's only playing a game though. Like, I have a mentality of, if I'm gonna put a ton of time into something, like I need to decide, you know, which things are, I don't know, which things are more self-fulfilling, maybe that's the word. Like I looked at how much time into Skyrim I play, and it's like, man, it's like hundreds of hours. What if I put that hundreds of hours into something not Skyrim? Like actually getting better at drawing, maybe? I don't know. It's fun. I love the technical precision of the speedrunning and like the proficiency of being that good at something. I don't know, it's interesting to watch. I guess it's like watching sports, maybe. Perfectionists and want to see if they can be perfect. Yeah, hit the game. But part of the fun that I like about the whole speedrunning thing, especially like this week with the awesome games, is the commentators like describe everything that's going on, like how they found this particular glitch, like how difficult things are to do. Let's round this arm right there. So we'll do this one separately. I don't know. I find that stuff really interesting. Okay, so the form is pretty much done here. I'm gonna go back through, round all of the parts out. I think Illustrator's doing something now. Was there an update? Like, you select these two corners, and I go to round them. Like, this is an outside corner, and this is a tighter, like, more acute corner. But if I round them, it looks like it's rounding them at a different rate. Like, see how much more rounded this is than that? Is that new, or am I crazy? Because it used to be like when you did this, everything would round out at the same rate. So this would be more like this. Whatever it is better now. Maybe I've just had coffee and I'm just noticing. Let's take these two, go with that line. I like that. It's hand. Around these corners, like so. So remove the bottom parts of these. I don't know what he's doing, Scully. Yeah, maybe he's yeah, he's just like posing maybe. His hand on his chin, like this, kind of like the Napoleon Dynamite. Turn your head a little bit to the left. Now do this. Yeah, good announcer makes a difference. Yeah, definitely. And there's some really good ones. Like, the people who know their stuff are really interesting to listen to. Good model. We didn't know what to watch the other day, so we're just browsing around. Like, ah, it's Napoleon Dynamite. We haven't seen that in a little while. The Uncle Rico. Make the tail smaller. So we're going to thread the tail when we make the card out of this. Let's see, he's going to be something like, I don't know, a little bit like this one. So the tail's going to wind up on the upside down one. Like, let's just take his legs. Did this and rotated it. When I put them together, the legs are going to be something like that. Maybe touching, I don't know, but the tail's going to come up and through his elbow. So depending on how this winds up looking in the end, we may need to like stretch this out a bit, but I think this would work, doing it like that. Maybe move the feet a little bit. We're really close, so I think it's fine. Hey, Peter Steves, good morning. And Crush, welcome. Yeah, well, more cards. We only have like 5 more to do. We're moving right along. We're missing... Let's see, we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the Jokers. Oh yeah, the Bigfoot. Those are his big feet. He's like clumps around the house in his mom's high heels. Yeah, home stretch. I never thought I would like do a sustained project like this. So I can't wait for these to get manufactured, printed. What would you call it when you make a deck of cards? But the yeah, I have like. I bought a couple sets from some of the other people on Dribble who have made cards. Just like have them because they're beautiful. But, like, we need to do the back of the card, so we're gonna wind up doing something very liney. Maybe not this detailed, but yeah, something like that. But the actual cards are going to be made on that like linen plastic where it has kind of that nice feel to it. Not the really slippery stuff, but it's more like the Vegas textured linen cards. Oh, nice. A massive collage. That's awesome. I think I've done 2 collages like in real life back in college. The the bowling alley had like this giant wall above where the lanes were, so I did like a huge skyscape. I should dig through my old photos and find this stuff. Okay, so for these, I think let's remove the... We don't need them to connect.
This is my show. I can't stand what you're saying. I can't stand what you're playing. I can't stand what you're doing.
You ever go back and look through like your old work, your old portfolio? It's so cringy. I feel like we should do that one day and just look through old stuff I've done. (18 by 24 feet? 18 by 24 feet? Or... Oh, pen and ink. Okay, inches. So it's like a big, like artboard. What kind of paper are you doing it on? The texture on the printed ones, like the... No, it's instead of like being a smooth plastic, it's got kind of like a fibrous look to it. I don't know, you'd have to open up a deck of cards. It's hard to describe. It looks like a really, really tight woven canvas. That makes like a scratchy sound. You can hear it. Yeah, 18 by 24 inches. Oh, Strathmore Bristol. Okay. So it's a heavier smooth board. The linen paper just feels good. Right, okay. Let's get the rest of the lines drawn in here, and then we can start actually with the color work. I may not have this like go over the sides like that. It's pretty good. And then over here. You like that, so it's bigger.
I can't stand what you're saying. I can't stand what you're playing. I can't stand what you're doing. I'm a swing punk. I can't stand what you're saying. I can't stand what you're playing. I can't stand what you're singing. I'm a swing punk.
Maybe like that. Let's straighten this one out some. And then the rest of the fur, I guess we could just do like... What if we rounded these out? And these would be like natural dividing lines for the color work. So most of it will be... Yeah, I kind of like that. Like where it's like just a wiggly line. So that means we'll come up this way. Let's see if I did it like this. And then if we select it, go to the rounded edges. like round it out. That works. Let's go fix this tail. I think it does need to be a little bit longer. Pull this down. Last push of energy. Much love. Yeah, hey, thanks for stopping in, Crush. Go get some sleep. Like Isabel over there. Just like early mornings and late nights. Sketch makes it look like burlap. Hey, Criminal Minded, good morning. Yeah, it could be burlap. We can go with a pattern like we did with... Where are you? Yeah, like we could do something like this with the fur. Like a repeating... Some kind of repeating pattern like that. Except a different type of this, you know, not like the fishnets, obviously. So I want to keep it on the underneath side here. Have it like taper out when it, by the time it gets to this end. Maybe just join it up. Just join it like that. It's out. Yeah, so this should be pretty easy to hook through the elbow. Offset that a bit. Alright, let's get the rest of the fine lines here. So the mouth would be... I really like to have like the edge of the mouth hang over the side, but I don't think we need to do that here. This is like the first instance of a nose that's actual more detail. Like the rest of them has just been like 2 dots. Or like a triangle, like this. In one big eye. It's like the buffalo version of Plankton. So we'll go a little smaller. Alright, and then the nose, no problem. Let's go with, let's see, we'll make a circle, that inside out. Let's borrow that. Let's cut it right there. Something like this. Oh, Emma's, yeah, so she started classes like her new semester. And the driver's ed that she's got to take is, or not, she doesn't have to. But it's, we hired a private company to do it because they get way more drive time than if she went through the school. So it's a guy who has a class of like 6 kids. and they do a bunch of virtual stuff before driving. We've taken her out to like the parking lot and just been like, okay, please, we're gonna practice here carefully. And she hates it. She absolutely does not want to drive, and I'm totally fine with that. Flip that over. There we go. It's a nose. All right. I like driving in snow, like, because I'm from up in the Chicago area, so like there was nothing more fun for me, especially like once I moved out, go to school, there was nothing more fun than going out on a snowy day and like finding a parking lot and just tearing it up around the parking lot in the Bronco. I had a Bronco too back then, which is the best kind of Bronco. The car was so bad. It broke down all the time. I loved it. Yeah, black ice is super scary. Because I would drive, I waited tables all through college. And I had to commute to one, like I waited at 2 restaurants. It was really good money. But one of them was like 30 minutes away, and there's no streetlights. It's out in the country, kind of out in the middle of the prairie in Illinois. And yeah, the one place I went to, like driving back from Geneva back to DeKalb, it was like, in the winter, it was awful because the roads were so icy. Like, I absolutely almost lost control more than once. Get sleds for he and my sister-in-law? Oh, nice. Yeah, the sled, when you, those are gonna be hanging like on your basement wall. Like 364 days of the year. We have, the saucer sleds are always the best. I don't know why people get the sleds with, you know, the wooden ones with like the skids on the bottom, like the traditional sled you might see on like Polar Express or something. Like those just don't work unless you're going down like a solid packed icy slope. Like that they never work. I've never had luck with those. Even though we owned one, it's not the sled you reach for when you want to actually have fun. Let's see, let's go with, keep it in this neighborhood. Alright, what color should we do? What's this? It's up there. Alright, let's switch it and go, move it down to this area because I'll need the variety of colors. So we'll use this one where it's got 4 instead of the 3 row. Which means this would then be something like that. Alright, so that's our mid-tone right here. Highlight, extra highlight if we need it, which could be the horns probably. And then our shadow. Shadow could also be just the black. We're gonna go with like the furry kind of look. Alright, and then, let's see, we'll need to put some hair. Yeah, the plastic sleds, they'd always get torn up. Alright, and then over here, let's borrow, let's see, let's take this over here and keep the same angle. Up. One of them is snoring. I can't tell which doggo it is. Doesn't look right. Where the thumb would be back here somewhere. Okay, yeah, we wouldn't draw the thumb. Hey, Toxic, good morning. How's your week been? Well, let's get the little spirally elbows here. We'll come back. We probably need to do a little bit more work on this, on the lines here, but let's get some progress. Check that out. Okay, and we'll make this the darker color there. Any more elbows? I guess this one maybe. Let's do the one. All right. For the tail, I'm probably just gonna do like a shape here. Go like this. Go ahead and square one end off. Stretch that out. Why is it not rotating? Oh, I only had the 1 point selected. So let's make it wider. So we'll go transform, reset bounding box, re-square that tool there, so I can do this. Kind of a teardrop shape, I guess. Be like that. Yeah, my work was good. First week back. Not a whole lot going on. I think some people were half on vacation. Quiet in the marketing department. I got to play catch up with some projects, start some new stuff. Okay, so we'll get back to that. I think the tail is set. His hand. What to do about you? Let's do that. Okay, one more little line up here. Let's copy this, paste it. Something like this. Yeah, we have 5 more cards to do after this, plus the box design. Yeah, we'll be getting back to like actual traditional graphic design stuff when we get to the box in the back of the card. We started the back. I need to revisit it and kind of like to sketch it out a little better. Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. This out. That's pretty good. Yeah, the deck is shaping up nicely. Here's the whole thing zoomed out. Fit it all in the screen? Yeah, there we go. Almost. We're almost done. So this guy will be probably... I'd like to get the face cards done, and I think he'd make a fine king. So what we're working on now will most likely be this one, unless he fits one of the other cards better. Yeah, and last week we did the Hodag illustration. Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock. Let me go save. Thank you, Pearly. Zoom out. Let me hit save on this. Let me get some more coffee. I'll be right back. This up. Yeah, I'm so excited to actually be finishing this. All right, 1 second, guys. See you, Isabel. All right, color time. So where should we start? We'll figure out the horns last, I think. That's normally what I've been doing. I usually like to start easy. Let's go with the back leg here, and then the hooves. Those are both pretty easy. We'll go ahead and lock the line layer. We're gonna just work on color layer now. What I like to do is kind of rough it in. Something like that. And then we're gonna go with, let's see, use like, maybe just like this really dark gray. Like a split in the middle there, cloven, like this cloven hoof. And then, so we'll add texture to that, and then what I'd like to do is bump everything kind of over and down to offset it from the outlines, and just a bit. And then these we'll just copy paste. So let's get one of these brushes here, maybe steal that, copy it, come over here, say down in the bottom left, draw inside. So we'll select that, it'll bracket the shape that we just had selected. Now anything we paste or draw inside of here will be trapped into the object, like masked in there. So for this, I'm going to use the darker, that color. Be more over here, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's good. So it kind of gives it like the highlight. Here we go. We can watch Luna's butt for a bit. Oh. Say, Luna, if you turn around, I'll put the camera on you. She's a shy girl. Again, the idea is to keep these just kind of fluid and sloppy looking. So there's no precision. It's part of this part. It's part of this part. No precision when making the fill colors. Okay, so this is the back leg. I think what we'll use is the heavier, like this heavy brown color. That's the darkest spot. Steal that. We're gonna select it, draw inside. Place this in. So that would be the highlight, so we'll put it over here. Something like this. I'll just use a lighter color of brown, so maybe the mid-tone or like even that. Could probably just do both. So like the very end of the knee would be like the brightest. So I feel like we need maybe a ring, like a nose ring or something. And then even this could be like these ridges here could be the something like that. Yeah, let's do that. Try that for now. So I kind of like them overlapping. It's down. Let's pull this one up a bit. Alright, and then the tail. He would be the type to have a nose ring? Okay. I was debating where to put the rings. Where to put a ring. Suppose we could move his mouth. Make the teeth smaller at least. Let's see how that would look. And this could be like heavier and then make it go like gray or like this really light yellow. Or like this, yeah, this color. Let's see, maybe we'll just keep it gray for now. I almost feel like he needs a tattoo now, just like right here. Like the heart with the arrow through it or something, like really cliche. All right, we can move the let me move the teeth back. The tattoo? Okay, yeah. It seems like the thing to do. Actually move this up a bit. So we have more tattoo room. Alright, a heart. Make it really simple. Square off that point there and pull it down. This can come up.
So wise, putting on the top hat, tying up the white tie, brushing off the tails, eyes, doing up the shirt front, putting in the shirt studs.
Yeah, it's about something like that. Alright, and then it would be a little sideways and kind of squished together, something like that, and rotated. I suppose we'll just keep it right in the middle here. Wrong button. Let's see, this would be gray, probably. And then up here. Copy that and flip it over. So something really small, not very detailed. I even like reverse this. Let's what if we flip that around? We don't have a lot of space to work with here. I'd like to round these edges, but I think we have to do it this way. I don't think these are combinable. Oh yeah, here. The line was a little bit off. Okay, that's a bit better. let's go with this for now. Just group it. We'll revisit. Yeah. Yeah, it should work. Okay. Alrighty. Next leg. We'll do the same as this, except this leg is going to come up to about here, and I'll round that out, and then the belly's going to be its own like color group, color shape. It says mom. It's going to be so tiny though, you'll never read it. Kind of connect it up, put that inside out. Go ahead and use our mid-tone right there. Then the back part, let's see, we'll grab this and that. So we'll copy, come here. Go ahead and switch it to draw inside mode. Just paste these in. This is our highlight. This one would be our shadow. Live back here. Grizz, thanks for the sub.
But time files, a monkey that can see no evil.
Welcome, yeah. Thanks for the resub. How have you been? And time flies when you're having fun. Are those on the colorway? Yeah, they are. Oh, hey, Luna. I feel like maybe his whole, like the whole belly could be lighter. I wonder what that would look like. Let's try that. Because we could use all the brown up here, but maybe we just change him so he's like sunburned. Got like a naked sunburn? I don't know. Let's try it. And if we switched this to go with, so that would like tie into that. This pink buffalo naked body. This would be the other color. Or we could go with so we can blend like these two lighter reds and like this, and then also like the dark brown. Like those work together. The colors sort of work. So it would be more like let's try this. Been a bit crazy over the holidays and everything's in lockdown. Yeah. It's same thing here pretty much. We had one of our marketing people's family, like their entire family, got COVID, so yeah. So I have like extra projects I'm working on. I'm gonna see if I can get this to work. Like I really like the pink and brown. And if I can get it to work, that's even better. Let's try... Try this and then go with the lighter. I'm trying to find like the good ombre where it fades from like dark to light, but it's like what are the stops along the way? So we've got like this brown to that pink to the lightest pink. Like the medium. Let's try this. So that, and then the darkest color would be so we come up here. Now let's change these. I know, really. Yeah, how hard is it to keep to yourself? Like, if you told me you need to stay in your home for like weeks or months, I'd be like, alright, I'm all for it. Not a big fan of being out in like big crowds or anything. So this, we could bring it back down to like, try, yeah, we don't want to use that red. It's really crazy. But this isn't so bad. They're like, we're gonna go, we want to do everything remote from now on. And you're like, I've been training my whole life for this. I'm ready. Yeah, exactly. It's like, we need to stay inside. It's not a me problem, it's a you guys problem. It's like, this is why we can't have nice toys. You guys who aren't listening. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and I think this one then would come up this way. So I want to extend that here. And would these change to red? Like the highlight things? I'll probably use this, where is it? The grain effects, I'm using a brush that I made. Here's the set, the link to it for you. I made a set of brushes. Here is the direct download. But it's pretty much just like a noisy kind of grain line, and you just select that as your brush over here after you draw the line. But you can use it to like make, you know, this kind of thing. Like this is the same illustration just with those brushes added. Yeah, there you go. There's a link to, if you don't want the whole like 200 meg file with examples and all. You can right click here and just download, save the link. And that'll just get you like a set. There's a bunch of them though. There's not just like the ones here. It's not even the brushes I'm using. It's got like, is it like 20 total? Yeah, there's like 24 things in there. Yeah, so for the most part, I'm just drawing a line like this. And then I'm selecting one of the grain brushes, and it'll apply that texture all along the line. It kind of like changes the... move it around and stuff. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Can you... You might be able to use the Illustrator stuff from here. If you, let's see, how could you get brushes like that in Illustrator on iPad? I think you could use Adobe Capture and create a vector brush from there and bring that into Illustrator. Like it would be usable on your iPad. This might look better if we pasted it, let's see here, but went with, just made it white. And then this part of the knee, oh, so we have this lighter, this highlight. All right, so we can do highlight there. Let's copy it. Can we put the highlight up here somewhere? Like where would this, does this even work anywhere on here? It really doesn't. I really got to get the swirly kneecaps right. Let's see, rotate it. So that's fine. Okay, that's pretty good. So the arms then would be pink because they're part of the body, and then the rest would be brown, like this burlap. Each nipple's highlighted. It might be too much, yeah. So I'm actually gonna put them up to this layer, paste in front. And then if we made them the lightest pink. Yeah, they're pretty subtle that way. So once we turn the sketch off, try that. So we're going to be doing a lot of like on the furry parts. We'll have actual like fur. Something like, let's see who's got that. Yeah, we're going to wind up doing like something like this. That type of line work. We'll see. Work in progress. Lens flare on the nose ring? Maybe. They were super bright lens flare. That's the best filter. There's really no reason not to always use it, you know? You should always use it. Really trying to define this a little bit better. Like, we should be pulling some brown up into it. Let's try this. If we grabbed that highlight there, paste it in front here, and let's move it up. And then change this to the... Is it the darkest one? What color brown are you? Yeah, it's the darkest one. So we could go like this. Something more like that. That's better. It's more of a shadow. Alright, and then what we do is we just take everything and kind of nudge it over and down. Something like that. And then I'm going to take this part. Let's see, we'll pull this up just a bit. Like this to spill over some more. So pull this down. So I'm imagining the light source for all these is somewhere in the top right, shining down. So by nudging all of the color over and down some, we have kind of this like rim light that happens. That helps kind of define all of the edges. Let's see, I want lock that. And this is fine, where it doesn't quite line up. But right here should be all shadowed, so I'm going to pull this part back up. Maybe we do this. Okay, we'll come back to that part. Yeah, I think I'll do this. Pull this out. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, let's get the other stuff done. I think, yeah. So the arms would be pretty much the same type of thing. Let's go ahead and get those filled in. I'm pretty happy with this, like in general, like the color. So all the shadows are the really dark brown. The midtones like this lighter pink. Then we have kind of the, and then we have like this midtone kind of shadow like that. Uncreative, do I have a tip for you? Let's see. I don't know, draw the, I'm not sure. My creative brain is not working so well either today. Go for a walk. That's sick. That's usually what I do, actually. Get outside for a bit. But stay away from people, though. Yeah, that's Isabel. We have two dogs. They're both sleepy right now. That's Isabel, and then Luna is well, she's way off camera right now. Yes, big fans of German Shepherds. She's a pretty good girl, most of the time. Most of the time. Hey, Lusa. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. How's your weekend? Happy Saturday, everybody. It's over here. So I like to keep the line towards the bottom edge of the outlines down on the underneath side. And also, Brain AFK, good morning. And thank you for the follow. Use some Illustrator help? Yeah, stick around. My pee-pee is stuck in the toaster, help. Just don't use a fork to get it out. Thanks for the follow. Hey, welcome, guys. As long as you play with them, they don't break anything. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you keep them busy and occupied and entertained, they usually won't destroy everything in your house. That's some of the best advice. And that is definitely true. Is this in front? I want to remove this part here. That. Alright, we can probably treat this as one form, kind of like this back leg. No, it'd be more like the front leg here. Usually. And they bark a lot too. So, boy, she barks. Walter was a good boy. He didn't, he was definitely same personality, but different. Like, shepherds are, like, they feel like the same person, almost, except, like, their mannerisms are the same, except they're, you know, they differ in weird ways. Strange. Maybe show how I can make a circle, but, like, only the edge of it. Makes sense. Tried Googling everything and can't find an answer. Only the edge of it? Like, you just use the circle tool? Most of my stuff, like, if you watch down in the bar here on the bottom, I've got all the keyboard shortcuts that I'm using show up, so if you see me doing stuff, and even if the video is muted, you can kind of tell what key combinations I'm pressing to do things. Yeah, but L is for ellipse, and that would be the circle, and then you just hold down Shift and draw it. If you were to draw it with the pen tool, it would never be, like, quite right. You could give it a go. This is gonna look more like an egg, really. Yeah, you can. The width of the circle edge is controlled by, if you're just doing a line like this, you would change the stroke weight. So over here. And then you can start getting fancy with things like brushes. Or or you could go with like, yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can do here. I think for the hand, let's go, let me grab this here. Alright, so we're gonna change this to the lighter pink, kind of like the body. So this arm is most like this leg over here, so we'll go with that. Give me, hold on, this one? Yeah, this texture there, so we'll copy that. Come up here, we're gonna say draw inside, and then paste. I can kind of reform this line to fit the hand. It'd be something like this. Yeah, you can. Change your... There's a couple things that'll help you out. So if we draw this line like so, you'll notice that I'm working in pixels right now, but you can type in anything you want for the dimensions. So the line weight itself, you can do it in a couple spots here. The line weight itself is half of a point, I call it, but you could probably type in 1 mm, 1 millimeter, and hit enter, and it'll convert, like this is now a 1 millimeter line thickness. Or if you wanted to do like 1 centimeter, you type in 1 cm. Illustrator automatically like does the math for you. So if you type in your stuff into the width for it, like now this is exactly 1 centimeter. So if I change my rulers here to centimeters, rotate this, that, this should be 1 centimeter. Right? Did that work right? Let's see. So if I do 10 millimeters, it should be 1 centimeter. So it shouldn't change. Yeah. So I think it's working right. My document is set to like 200 pixels, so it's all relative, really. Let's go with 4 cm. Yeah. You can type in all your. Let's see, why is my the ruler's weird. It's like you're too. Okay, let's look at the left edge then. So if you were a specific length, oh yeah, same. That's a millimeter. I don't know what's going on with my rulers. 2, 3. Yeah, so this is these are millimeters then. Yeah, you can. Just select it, and over here, this is the width and the height. You just type in whatever you need it to be. We don't need to give it a height because it's going on the weight, line weight. If you had a box, you would need to adjust that. So if we did a box here, you now have height. But yeah, just want it 10 centimeters long, just come up here and type in 10 cm. And it would give you just what you need. Yeah, if you're doing like precision work for, I don't know, drafting or architecture, something like that. Yeah, just use the values and just type in the value you need. Yeah, it's just because if I'm drawing the line like this is how wide it is from left to right. And it doesn't have a height unless you were to, rotate it. It's a line, so it's just 2 points connected. So it technically doesn't have a width at all. See, now it's tall and not wide at all. Yeah, just mess around in the properties panel. Let's see, back to you. Grab your shiny kneecap here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, come back with questions. I'll get you started. Let's see. That's pretty good.
And here we come, we do proceed. And you stay put like you agreed. And here we come, we will succeed.
Bump that over and down. Bump that over and down. Yeah, it looks nice. All right. Like that. It's over some. All right, let's get this other arm done, and then we'll decide what to do about this. You know, maybe it's too big. I think I'm gonna wanna, yeah, scale it down, possibly. Well, we'll see. Okay, so once again, let's see, lock the line layer. We're gonna work on the color layer. I wanna go just above, just outside of this line. So as I'm drawing these, I can use this as the border and get like this nice wavy cut. Hug the left edge here. Down, over. I think I might split this up and do like the upper arm as one part and then the lower forearm is a different part, but it won't matter too much. I'll come back this way. Make sure we cross over like the edge of that. That should be good. Hey, PS Knives, good morning. Thanks for the host. Hey, welcome, guys. Yeah, we're working, if you're just getting here, we're working on a card deck. Like, I'm actually making a Vegas deck of cards using all of the well, not all of them, but I'm using North American cryptids, one for each state at least in North America, plus some extras. And we're creating an entire deck of playing cards. And a cryptid is folklore, monster, local legends, unknown creatures, things like Bigfoot and Chupacabra, Mothman. But we're doing everything in Illustrator and creating the actual card front by bringing the illustration into Photoshop, doing sort of like a thing where you blend them together, kind of have them overlap each other. Yeah, 43. Yeah, we're up to 49 now. We have just a few left, actually. We're working on King today. I hope. I think. Yeah, I think this guy looks like a king. Anyway, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So tomorrow we'll have 5 left tomorrow. So we're working on the countdown from 6 today. Getting closer. And then we just do the card, the back of the cards, and then the box design, and then we can order the set. Excited. Let's copy that. Come back down to here. We're gonna paste in front. Select them both. Move all the stuff that kind of goes over the edge. So it'll be like that. I'm going to start with 50 or 100, something like that. I don't think it's that much more to do order 100, so I'm probably going to get that many. If I run out, I'll definitely like get some more printed, so. Yeah, it's not like a limited thing. Yeah, it's better like that. Hiding this up before I go back to the other arm. Alright, there we go. Okay, let's see, I want that. Guess I'll get the highlight from this one. So we'll come over here. This arm's going to be more like because it's facing away and the light's like up here somewhere. It would be more like this probably. So let's switch the color to the darker red, and then we'll add it in, add the highlight into that. So we'll go draw inside, paste. So this would be dark brown. This would be light. There we go. When I do order them, I'll actually put them in my own store on my website, and I'll have the link posted in on the channel too. So if you miss it like during the stream, you'll find it on the website. I'll feature it and everything. I'll do like a nice homepage, like big spread for it. Quick way to delete a lot of layers. Like here, yeah, you would just select them all, and then down at the bottom there's a trash can. You can do it that way, or just hit delete. Yeah, I highly recommend just going to like YouTube and looking up like Illustrator, just general tips to get started. There's going to be a bunch of stuff, like there's so many like things and weird stuff with Illustrator, like to do all the what you're trying to do. Check out all like the like a basic rundown of Illustrator's. I don't know, just what do you call it? Like, I'm trying to think of like a Google search to tell you, or a YouTube search, like way to form the question. Like, I guess Illustrator, top tips for Illustrator, and that'll kind of get you a good overview of like all the different ways to do things. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, fat sack of fat. Adobe Illustrator common tips and tricks. Yeah. Because we're barely like touching like anything here. We're just doing a few things over and over again. But look, maybe we could go lighter brown. Let's see if it looks okay. The only reason I'm entertaining the idea of like this lighter brown color is because once we get up into the fur, that's going to be like mostly the darkest brown. So in order to have it not blend together as much, I'm thinking this might be better. Oh, did I hit save? I feel like I fat fingered the save key. I feel like this hand is just not quite right. We'll just leave it like a big blob shape like that. Maybe, look. It's like trying to figure out how this. This would be, might be right. Alright, seems okay. Let's bump this whole thing over. Go ahead and lock it. Nudge you down. Go ahead and offset this a bit. Hey, Big Pete, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday. We're just doing our Illustrator thing, working on trying to get the card deck finished. And Lusa, also, thanks for the follow. Hey, welcome, guys. That, and then this can, like, jump over the border here. Up like that. It's down here. Yeah, that's Isabel. The sleepy doggo. We have 2 dogs. Isabel's a German Shepherd, and then Luna's over here. We're pretty sure she's a potato, though. Yeah, it's Sleepy Dog Cam. They start getting wild about 9:30. It really isn't that bad right here. Let's change the arrow color and get rid of the gray. And just go maybe dark brown, like so. Yeah, it kind of blends better. So I typically always avoid using black for anything. I like to use really dark versions of color. So like this line, even though it looks black, it's actually like a really dark maroon or something. Let's see, what color are you? I call it not really black. It is, yeah, it's kind of like a blend of different things, but it's not quite like full on black. And that's so when I have my layers overlapping like this, you can still see the color kind of through it. So all the color work here done underneath that layer is still visible. It has like that misprinted kind of quality. Okay, let's just do his tail real quick. So let's make it easy on ourselves and combine it, and it's together. Done that. Let's hook it together down here. Control Alt Shift J. We're gonna join those points, and then here, since it's now one shape, like this line belongs to the same. It's one continuous line now. I should just be able to click there and then connect it there. I don't mind that it like flipped the direction of the line. This doesn't matter so much. It's down some. That's like, yeah, they're these dogs stay up late. This. I like to round this edge out. But I think what I'm going to do instead is just cover with the tail. So this can be filled in white. Combine all that. And then the tail itself, I'm just going to copy down here to the color layer. We're going to paste in front. Invert that. And then probably the tail would be... do the pink tail. Like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, we'll do that then. Okay, so let me grab... so I want just this point. So we'll copy that, and we're going to change this to draw inside. So down here, draw inside, and then paste. And we now have like this brown sort of shadow part in the tail. So move it up here. I kind of have it like down this way. Move this just outside of the tail so it sort of fades out as it goes down. Kind of like that. Or, alright, let's grab this highlight here. same deal, except we'll highlight it, I guess maybe like down here. Oh, we'd use the lighter pink too, this one. So it'd be something like this. The sleepiest dogs. And what we're gonna do when we put the card together, jump back over here, we're going to combine them in a way where they overlap and sort of like interlock with each other. For the most part, we've been doing all right, getting everybody to like interact in ways. Like this one especially is probably one of the better ones. That example where it sort of wraps and weaves in with itself. So this one, I think the way I've done the tail here is if we took the bottom part, grab the lines, we took like this part down here, then once we have the duplicate of them, rotate it, it's gonna fit together in a way where the tail is going, where the feet are like together somehow like this, but the tail's coming up through his arm, then out the side. Yeah, so once we get to Photoshop, we'll do that part. Like, you sort of match up pretty well. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, thank you, Pearly. Let's go ahead and save. So we're gonna go till 9:45 my time today, so another 45 minutes or so. I need to get Emma up because she's got her remote driving class, and she'll need the computer. It's a 4-hour class, which is crazy. A long time to sit in like driver's ed. Alright, let's see. The tail then. We could just fill it in. I may do like a dark outline, then we'll fill it in with the brown. Let me think about that. I want to set that up. No, let's make it, yeah, we'll leave it the brown. Like so. Just down a bit. Okay, well let's get the body, and then we'll have a better idea of what to do. So I think this is going to be mostly like the ears, same type of thing. We'll be using like the darker lines for the highlights, for like the scroll back down here. Something like that, and then this whole thing will be filled in like this. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's get this part done. I guess we'll start here. I think same as before, we'll just go over this line because we'll use that to cut this apart. Here, here, wrap it back up to here. So, let's make it the neutral brown, and then select the, let's see, let me get this line here, grab that, just in front of there, select both of those, lock this layer, Shift M, and just click that. Actually, let me make sure I have a color selected. There we go. So this stuff can then be thrown out right here. It's a little messy. All right, so we'll paste that back in. Copy that. Let's change this to draw inside. Paste in front, and since we're going with a highlight on this shoulder, we'll pick maybe that one. Let's rotate this line, just kind of fit it in here. So let's continue that. I think, yeah, this we could probably do 2 pieces, like one for here and one for the body. I don't know, maybe one. Let's just do one shape, I think. Just making sure I overlap this part right here. It's gonna be a bit messy for a minute. Come over here. Down around here. Edge right there. I think that's all the pieces I need. Select these, let's shift those. Make that inside out. Let me grab this line, this one, copy them, paste them in front. Let's turn off the outline layer so we can see what we're doing. And then with all of these 3 selected, or these 4 things, yeah, there we go, that'll work. So I'll just fill that in. Let's pick our, I guess our medium brown. Go ahead and click it. And do one further by removing all the extra we don't need. Okay, so I'll copy this and then come down here, and I guess we'll just do like a highlight up here, and then maybe here, and then the rest will be, this will be darker on the edge, and then right here would be dark too. So draw inside. Next it. Go up here somewhere. It still has like an outline on it we need to get rid of. Something like this. Alright, then what I can do is grab the, let's see, can I get this ear? Let's put you in the background layer. There. So I'll take this part, copy that. Let's come down here, paste in front while I have that selected. Yeah, that'll work. And do this. It's down. That's kind of like the shadow from the head. And we'll need a copy of that down here. Then if we did the thing where we just bump everything over. Like this to be divided a little bit closer, probably. Something a bit more like that. Nice. Okay. I wonder, we could probably take this one, just make a really small like spot right here. This. Bump it to the front, maybe make it the really dark color, but change which brush we're using, and then this could be, we did that and then made it bigger, kind of give it that fur look, like splotchy sort of. So there's like, that's an option. Yeah, the idea is just to have like one big spot here. It's actually not too bad. That's a bit heavy. What about... Where are you going? You're so long. You're such a long dog. Yeah, let's do that for now. Copy that. Maybe, if we like just a light pink in here, I guess that wouldn't go well. Yeah, no, skip that. All right, let's get the face, and we'll be going back through everything and adding in the fur, like the edges. See if we can find somebody like that. Yeah, like so Bigfoot here. We'll add more to the line to make it look hairy. Oh, we could do like the little forearm things. This. Let's try. 0.5. Dark line. Make sure it's rounded. You know, like the cartoon burly looking dudes with their two lines like define how hairy their forearms are. What? Did I not copy that? Give me your hairy forearms, you Miniwashitu. Alright, paste. Let's flip that over. About like that. Alright, for the face. Okay, let's lock everything, go back to the color layer. Let's draw around it. What I'm going to do is go around the hand, like so. That way I don't have to worry about like weird stacking orders. push it to the back, just so the hand is in front. And you are way up here. Alright, so that's in back. We'll go with the medium brown, and then we'll use like the same kind of thing here. For the eyes and the teeth, we need those to stand out, so I'm just going to grab the teeth. Give me your chompers, paste in front. Get rid of the outline. Oh, so teeth are there. Guess we do that with the nose too. I know he's got like ice cream cone head. Yeah, this is sort of like a Neapolitan look. You know the ice cream where it's the strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, but all that winds up being left is just the strawberry, because everyone just eats the chocolate and vanilla out of the box. That's this guy. I could. It's easy on myself. Bring these lines in so they meet, and then take. Copy that. Let's go to the color layer, paste in front. Shift M. Yeah, there we go. That should do it. So that's the nose. Let's get rid of all the outlines here. That. Alright, for the ring. Yeah, so I had a thought about this. We'll grab this. We'll leave it that color, and then I'll come down to the color layer here, though. We're going to paste in front, and we'll make it white, which will make it transparent. And then if I offset it just a bit, it'll have that kind of highlight to it. So the nose would be something more like this. Paste, see, paste behind, make this white. It's a bit confusing. Let's paste in front there, but make that white as well. Let's move the outlines on the nose up to the top. Let's see, except for there. That one. Back here. Just want this part to go away. There we go. Actually, this would be moved. Like a bit more like that. Yeah, we're making a deck of cards, Lusa. Putting together. We're doing 56 illustrations. So each one will be its own card, and these will actually be like printed like actual deck of cards. Yeah. So once oh look, there's the other dog. It's just a butt right now. Yeah. So once we're done, I'll have these made and order a whole bunch and put them up in my store. It's all of the North American cryptids, which is like folklore monsters, local legends. So we're still working a little bit on the type and the layout on some of these. And then I need to do an illustration project for the back of the card. We've got a couple jokers to do. I'm not sure what it's gonna say yet on any of them, but usually like the Ace of Spades has got like some special things. Like here's one. I keep these near the computer just for reference. Well, like here's one where it has like information on the bottom. And the aces usually have like their own like special design. got like jokers. So yeah, we'll be we're just working our way through each, you know, one card. Every stream is one card for the most part. So tomorrow we'll be starting a new drawing. Yep, this is all, yeah, not just America, but North America. So like Canada included. The northern, kind of the northern part of the US as well. A lot of like, there's a lot of river monsters and lake monsters. It actually started out as a Halloween. We started this way back in October. I was doing one each day through October for that drawing prompt Inktober thing that goes on. And it just turned into its own project. I had 31 of them. I was like, you know what? It wouldn't be that much harder to do, you know, just to do a few more. And here we are. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna take this right here down to the nose. Let's draw inside. Paste it, and we'll go with the smaller. Yeah, noses are like speckled. So with like a smaller grain, like that. This could also be, let's see, what if I took that? You know what, let's take the whole nose, move it up to the front. We'll paste it, is that it? Get the nose, this part. So we'll take that, come up to the front. Rid of the fill color, and then we'll change the give me it, there it is. Can you give an example of a story? Sure. Well, you've likely heard of Bigfoot. A lot of these stories are just like somebody saw something, a creepy monster one time. Oh, like these, like the Fresno Nightcrawler. If you YouTube that. This is the one that I didn't know about this one. It actually freaked me out. Watch this. Like, these are actually recorded. Hold on. Let me find the... Let's go to videos. And let me try and catch the volume. Cover your ears. There we go. Okay, so watch this. Like, look right here. There's a thing that comes walking across the frame. This is like security footage. Like, what is that? I have never seen that before in my life. It looks like pants kind of walking on its own. But this isn't the only video. There's other ones. Like, here's one in like a state park. Like, what are these things? Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, these are all like local folklore legends. Like, either they were caught on film, you know, like Bigfoot, plenty of people have seen Bigfoot. But like, what in the world? Like, here, it's coming, these are like a trail camera or something. Like, what is that? Someone's idea of a prank. I know, exactly. It could be pranks. You know, maybe all of these are pranks. But it, yeah, so anyway, the Fresno Nightcrawler. And there's a little baby one. Anyway, all of these fall into that category of like mysterious creatures. Some of them could have been a guy in a bunny suit, an axe murderer, or another one. Like, this is the Minnesota Dogman, supposedly like sort of a werewolfish creature, but it's like the body of a dog, hands of a human. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of them. You know, river monsters. We have things like Loch Ness Monster. There's plenty of like varieties of that type of thing. A lot of like Bigfoot creatures. These guys are Hawaiian. They're like dwarf people who are sort of like forest spirits, maybe? Nobody knows. That's the thing. That's why it's so amazing. Anyway, we're doing, I'm covering pretty much all of North America. very tall neighbor wrapped himself in rags and walked really slowly up and down the street. Oh, geez, that sounds creepy. Hey, miss, I'll be done in 15 minutes, man. Get you set up. Rubbing her belly. I was thinking for this. Oh, let's turn this back on. So if we did the black, yeah, there we go. Now it's the spotted look I was after. Oh, you know what? And we'll come down here and probably release this one. Go clipping mask release. Let's get rid of this extra. Don't need it. Okay, now for the face. Let's take that highlight. We'll come in here, select draw inside, paste. I'm really just shading them how like a cylinder would be shaded. So up here we'll get this color, paste in front. And if I just drop this up here, bring it all the way down to the bottom. Kind of like that. All right, and the horn. Let's see, we'll copy that. Let's we'll work on this one and then we'll apply the same thing to the other ones on the back. We'll paste in front, make sure there's no outline. We're gonna go ahead and change it to, well, let's decide on the color. I guess we could go like the medium, like that gray. That pulls in the nose ring a bit. How would this look? That white. Actually stands out a little bit better. I bump this to the front. Change it to the half size line. I'm really trying to stick with very specific line weights. That's good, I like that. So everything is either a 2-point line, like this really thick line here, or it's a half-point line, which is like kind of the detail lines here. Yeah, I know the doggo fell out of the bed. Hey, Web Derp, good morning. Hey, oh yeah, I have, let's jump to the Hodag real quick. I had like the Rhinelander Hodag Society or something emailed me the other day, like last week. They're like, hey, can we get that image for our newsletter? So, whoever they are, this will be in their newsletter. Also, I ordered stickers of this too, which will be in the site. I'll put them up on the site once I get them. Little the foil stickers. Yeah. Now I need to visit up there. I haven't been that far north in Wisconsin ever. But I've got yeah, Sticker Mule was running a sale, so I ordered a bunch of Hodag stickers. Let's go with the darker brown. This can be, I'm sure that, yeah, it's pretty funny. I will. Yeah, we have I'm making stickers of some of these. I think I'm gonna do probably like 4 or 5 more. Just the popular ones. I think I'll have one for Jersey Devil. Hodag is ordered already. Probably Wendigo. Who else? I think maybe Skinwalker? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll show them. I'll put them up in the store. Actually, Emma got me a nice light box for photographing stickers. Now I don't have to do like a weird, crazy setup every time I add stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna redo what's up there. What do I have now? I think I've got a bunch. Let's see, store. Yeah, stickers. Yeah, here's what's... Yeah, here's my stickers now. I've got quite a few. The Howl's Moving Castle one. I love that one. Anyway, I want to reshoot them because they're all kind of like the backdrop I've been using is just, it changes like each time I do it, so it's never good. Yeah, this is a example of a foil sticker. This is what I got, or a holographic one. This is what I have for the Hodag. A shiny sticker. Chupacabra, yeah. Yeah, Chupacabra is another one I'll do. I'll probably do like, I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe. So if I bump this over, probably highlight around the edge a bit more. Alright, what would I do down here? I think we'll leave the nose like that. Alright, let's move this. Anyway, yeah, the Rhinelander Hodag newsletter society? Not sure who it was. Anyway, the people who do their social marketing saw the Instagram post and emailed me, so I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Please do, that would be great. It's up to here. Over. Got 10 minutes left. Yeah, I have to stop a little bit early today. Emma's got virtual driver's ed classes, so she needs to be online here just a bit. Maybe I can drop the body to the background all the way. Because I want the head to overlap some, so if I pull this over... Yeah, now we have like the misalignment in the color, like kind of makes a shadow now over here. Alright, that works. Okay, let's... Head is such a weird shape. So we're gonna do a lot of like... fly away hairs and whatnot. Let's get this horn fixed up before we go any further. So draw inside, paste. Spotting your laptop, perfect for the Hodag sticker. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be some windswept look or something. I don't think the sketch is really that visible anymore, but we'll yeah, something like, I was thinking like this shaggy mop kind of look. But we've got the basic shape done. So now we just need to like mess with it until it looks right. So the horn would be like this. I'm gonna go up this way. I'm probably gonna use like this really light color for the highlight on it. That or like the light gray. I could just do that. There you go. A bit more dimension. I was torn whether I should use the dark outline for the horn. I think maybe just go like gray like that, and then if I bump the background over and down, let's see, do something like this. What color are you? Let's keep it. I guess we'll use that one. So then the lines around the body, we change those to be like one shade lighter. That's pretty good. Change these two. Okay, let me so we only have a few minutes left here. Apply this to the rest. So an eye drop, just that. Oh, I missed that one. Easy on ourselves. Copy this. Let's come down to the color layer and paste in front. Flip that inside out. We're gonna go medium gray. No stroke. And then steal this highlight. The comb over. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of room to play with it up here. Let's come down here. Let's see. Maybe treat them all as one. Yeah, I guess maybe one thing. Let's say Control 8. Turn them into a compound path. And then we can go draw inside. Paste. So if the light's coming from top right, it should just be a matter of doing this until it kind of fades out near the back. So, and then maybe push that to the back. Drag this down here and go with the darker gray, like near the back of the spines. Right there. Alright, color's basically done. Let's get all with the got the tail. That. Let's go paste this in. You know what? Let's just take. We can just take this ear and use that down here. Throw that out. Just paste the ear. Something a bit like this. Can you explain why you can't change width and height measure? I don't know. Maybe your layer's locked. You could have accidentally locked your shape. Yeah, it's hard to tell without seeing your file. Let's see. Round that out. This is the part where I'm going to probably grab the pen or the stylus and start drawing in stuff like that all the way around the body. Let me see if there's any other like minor line work we need to do. Go ahead and lock the color layer, because now we're just going to do stuff like this to make a couple shapes of line here. To looks like this. Where's go. She's in the bit getting cleaned up right now, presentable for the live stream for her driver's ed. These guys look like Momo. I feel like he's kind of something got weird in his drawing. Oh well, it's pretty good. You know, I think I'm using like the half moon shape for these. That one maybe? Yeah, I think that one.
Work your way to an early grave. Swing, swing, night and day. Forget your mama told you and come out and play. Work your way to an early grave. Swing, swing, night and day. Forget your mama told you and come out and play. Work your way to an
All right, all. Let's call it there. Move this. Yeah. So I'll be fixing this up today. So tomorrow you'll see the finished one. And then we'll begin another illustration. I've got like 5. I think I have all of them drawn out. So we're good to get rolling on the rest. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good Saturday. Enjoy your day. Let me hit save. And I'll be back tomorrow. You'll see this finished Miniwashitu. Get him added to the card deck. So at the beginning of the stream, we'll be fitting him into the king space. And then we'll begin a new illustration. Or a new, a new Illustrator file for the next guy. Alright, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you